Man, is it good to be back. 2025 NASCAR season starts now.
Let's go.
That's the second best
Hex.
sound in NASCAR.
You know what the
Is
first
number
best
one.
sound is? Okay, you got it.
What's the first?
I was gonna do my crack,
Oh,
but it
so I
wasn't as
guess
good.
I guess mine was the third best sound in NASCAR. The second best is when your buddy starts drinking with you, and then the first is.
It's the
I'm
big
just
one at Daytona.
Oh, wait, that big one, that's gotta be up there too. Let's do a new segment called Crank It Up. Best sounds in NASCAR. Number one, meow, meow, meow. Number two, crack of the beer with your friends. Number three, cracking a beer alone. Yeah, you're allowed to drink alone. People say that's no good. It's
Oh yeah.
fine.
Yeah, back
And
in the old days, they would just sit outside the track and drink alone. Watch
we
it from the
still do that.
fence.
That's why we started doing this. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
that's
true.
the only
Yeah,
reason we
it's the
got
best.
into NASCAR. Is we were drinking and we are like, well, this is really fun to drink at or really fun to watch and drink. So, uh, like we've always said, we're not experts in NASCAR, but man, do we like doing it.
Hey, we're
So,
getting there. We're a couple years in now.
I know. Yeah, this is an exciting first stop of the season. We're at Daytona. We're in the middle of Speed Week. Yes, it's an exaggerated, not exaggerated. What do you call that word where it's shortened? Not exaggerated, the other one.
Sweetened.
No.
Tighter than a 2-year-old.
No. Nope, I almost said exaggerated again. Um,
Condensed.
condensed, there it is.
Let's
A
do it.
condensed speed week. We used to have speed week actually be all week. We started on Wednesday night with some qualifying for poles. Not qualifying, but we had practice and then yeah, that's qualifying. My head is
Practice,
somewhere different.
qualifying, yeah,
Yep, and
the
then
shootout.
last night, holy shit, Thursday night, awesome duels. We'll get into that in a little bit, but and then of course, once Friday comes around, you got the trucks coming up. You got Xfinity Series practice and qualifying. So we really are in for a good week. Um, it's like a week that just eases you into NASCAR season. We had a great Super Bowl last week. Well, if you're not from Kansas City, but we're ready for something new. I was over football. We had a great football season this year. We're both Penn State fans, Steeler fans. Well, we said great. I said yeah. That actually
Heartbreaking.
actually it was heartbreaking. Yeah,
Great and
the same
heartbreaking.
week, same week we had the horrible loss to Notre Dame in
Yeah,
the
at the
college
Orange
football
Bowl
Orange Bowl.
semifinals. Yeah, it was a rough one. I was there in person. Very exciting game up until our quarterback decided to shit the bed.
Yeah,
The only redeeming characteristic of this whole football season was Saquon Barkley getting the Super Bowl trophy.
I know, and I hate Philadelphia in every way. I'm sorry for all the viewers out there. I know people are gonna give us hell on our socials, but I hate Philly with everything. But I was on your side this year. I just couldn't watch Kansas City win another one, and of course I'm all for Saquon Barkley, so I was on your side. It means a lot. It takes a lot out of me to cheer for Philadelphia, but man, I had to do it this year. And I'm glad.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was really rooting for the Chiefs. I think even though Eagles fans are horrible, and they even booed Taylor Swift. Like, how are you going to boo her?
I think that if she showed up at the Daytona 500, she might get booed this year. If
I
she
don't think
showed
so.
up, like right
Oh, only
after they,
because the Eagles fans booed her first, and now we're
well,
just
maybe.
hopping on the train. Everyone's going to boo her.
Well, speaking of showing up at the Daytona 500, Donald Trump will be there again. The last time he was there, we got rained out, so hopefully that's not what's going to happen again this year. But could you imagine if they showed Donald Trump and the "Let's Go Brandon" type stuff starts getting chanted? I mean, that started at Talladega in 2020, I think it was. um, right before the election, right? Or was it right
Yeah,
after?
it was
It was
2019,
20
2020. Yeah, it was right
2020.
around election. And he's only the third standing president, I believe, to attend a NASCAR race. George Bush, I believe, did, and Trump did back in 2020, I think. So really the second, but third time a standing president has been to a NASCAR race.
Yeah. If you are going to be there on site, get there early. The security is going to be a little bit more harsh than usual. So if you plan on being in the stadium at, say, I don't even remember what the times are, but when the gates open, but say you're trying to get in there by 3, you should really get in there, in line by, 2, 1:30, something like that, because I think there's going to be pretty extensive searches of your coolers and everything like that because of Donnie J.
We were at a Charlotte race with Donald Trump, right? And he wasn't president at the time. This was last year or two
Really?
years ago. Last time we were there. Yeah, he was
Well,
at
we
the
didn't
Charlotte
go into the
race.
stadium.
It was one of his
we
2 years.
Yeah, no, so it was 2 years ago. That's right, because we were already in the infield. We didn't have to deal with that traffic and like the all the crap, but it also got rained out. So, but we are recording this on Friday afternoon. Trucks are about to go off. Um, And man, is it going to be exciting. So let's dive into our first episode of the 2025 NASCAR season. Um, Qualifying is about to start for the Cup, sorry, Craftsman Truck Series. And then after that, you got practice for Xfinity cars. So, first off, what a duel last night. These duels were really, really fun. I think that we need to have duels every week. Could you imagine if every week on Thursday night, NASCAR put on about a 1 hour race with just the top 20 drivers in the Cup Series?
Yeah, dude, tell me about it. That was awesome. And it's like an hour long, and you just get your fill's worth of excitement. And it's just as fun as the race because you don't have to sit there for 4 hours.
Yeah, I know that's the one downside of NASCAR, and I think some people are going to be really at our throats about this one too. NASCAR's races are, for the most part, too long. And that's what makes people lose interest. And that's why you're not tuning in every week. These sports are hour, 2 hour, 3 hour long, not a 5, 6 hour race like this might go. Especially some of these long, you know, 500, 600 milers.
Well, it's not really tailored to people watching at home, which is interesting. It's really tailored toward people who are there. And it's more exciting to be there. And a 4 or 5 hour long race gives you plenty more time to drink and
Well,
party.
I won't take that away from you. That's for sure. But man, if we started drinking at the beginning, we'd be drunk at the end. And we start drinking as soon as the sun comes up. So it's a long day. But yeah, no, these duels. I'm telling you, if every Thursday that started going on, I would probably. Oh, I think NASCAR itself would have a lot more fans because from the time football ends and football starts back up, really no one's watching stuff on Thursday nights. Like it's kind of like you have Thursday night football. You just turn on a hour long NASCAR race, you get a lot more fans, and everyone's going balls to the wall from the minute they start. Last night was a great one because it was 60 laps, which is longer than the fuel window is. So you still had one pit in there, and there was potential for that to happen under the green flag. It didn't because there were so many wrecks, and that's part of the excitement. I mean, that's why people are gonna watch. Of course, the winner, Bubba Wallace, he raced well. Few guys were just getting out there for a little bit more practice, and then you had some guys that were really trying to qualify for the big show, and that was in the number. Wow, why can't I think of the number? Well, Almendinger in the Traveler Chris Stapleton car was that 44.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Is that his number? Why? I got to get back and like learn everyone's numbers again this year
Yeah,
because
we've been so
there
out
were
of it.
plenty of changes. Um, I'm looking at the rosters, and you know how many people are registered for the number 66 car?
How many?
Well, I was just gonna
I
say
still
a
need to
lot,
get a
but
fit
I
for.
think I think it's five drivers are registered under the 66 car. Um,
It's the number 40, I believe, right?
is it 40? It might be
Travelers
40.
Whiskey 40,
Travelers
which is
Whiskey
actually
number 40.
sick. Yeah.
It is really cool, and I'm glad that yeah, Chris Stapleton putting his stuff on the car. They make the big show, and he raced great. I mean, that's what's so cool about that setup for the duel is you got the guys that are going for the duel win, but then those are the guys in the top like four spots in that particular race. But with only 20 cars there, you're dealing with people that are fighting at the middle of the pack and at the end of the pack just to make the final race. Um, it was awesome. Like watching, I think Almendinger get. Oh, I really should have looked this up, but watching him get what was it? I want to
I
say
don't even know where your train of thought is going to help you. You're not really getting anywhere.
I know, I know, but
Here, I'm pulling up
anyway, he was
the.
middle of the road, and I was watching that back of the pack, like the middle of the pack, back of the pack. So every driver had an impact on that race, and that's what was so exciting about it.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the Travelers Whiskey NASCAR.
While you're doing that, talk very briefly about the second race. It was a little less exciting, a little less crashing, still some fast cars, and Austin Cindric takes home the win on that one. It reminds me a lot like the 2021 no, or was it 20 it was the 2022 Daytona 500 where he makes his 500 debut and wins it. You made a lot of money on that. I was, shitting my pants because I
You're
didn't get
the
to
you're the
go.
one that gave me the bet on that one. And I was like,
I
who the heck
know,
is this
and
guy?
I know. Yeah, it was just this young guy coming in. Yeah, that car, if you're watching on the stream, that car's sick. Glad for all the people involved in that car. It takes a lot to get someone qualified for this race, and I think Allmendinger is gonna have a good year. Not in a permanent spot, but yeah. Um, so let's go into what we think is gonna happen this week.
What do I think is going to happen this week? Daytona 500, you never know what's going to happen, and that's the fun part of it. So that's what I think is going to happen is you don't know what's going to happen. So I think you got someone.
So that's the
You have
one
all
thing you
these
know
new
is you never
people.
know.
Exactly. You have an IndyCar driver racing in the lineup.
That is a whole story that we should get into a little bit. Castroneves, I'll never pronounce it right because I've never watched open wheel car racing at all. But I do like that rule where now NASCAR is allowing guys like Castroneves who have a real, I guess, a following from any really racing series. As long as you have a name and a following, you can get a pass to get into the race as a just an automatic bid, and I think that's great for the sport. You get a lot more viewers, and people of the IndyCar series they're gonna be watching on Sunday just to see how he goes. Castro Neves, that's
Do you think he was a
looked up.
DEI hire?
Yeah, him and Suarez. No, and Bubba. Man, these guys. Well, now that Trump's there and past that, there's no way that they're there for for the DE and I. Yeah, no,
Wait,
I
you
think that
said
he has the
Castronova.
potential to race real well.
Oh, I think so. You when what you see with the IndyCar drivers, they race the open wheel, so they are used to like not bumping and getting aggressive into each other, slamming into each other cars. Um, so you got to be a little careful that he's going to get too aggressive because he knows he can do that more, and then he could get into trouble. So that's one thing you got to learn, and that just takes experience to go from IndyCar to NASCAR. But it is interesting. You've seen IndyCar drivers win before, mostly on road courses.
Yeah, last night, his partner in the track house racing team, Chastain, they were basically told, "Stick together, show this guy how to drive a stock car in a pack, because that is so different. The drafting is so different, and like you said, the bumping and how close everyone's racing, that's so different than what they're used to." And that's exactly what ended up happening. It was about 2, 3 laps in. Castroneves could not keep up with Ross Chastain, his partner, and I believe he gets bumped by the number 3 car, and he just didn't know how to keep up with that. Austin Dillon obviously has plenty of experience in those types of positions, but did you just Google NASCAR?
I'm googling
uh,
NASCAR.
Yeah,
I
but
need
that
all the
sends him
latest
in up
news.
into the wall. He takes a nasty hit into the safar barrier on the right side, comes down into the apron, gets another big shove, and he was confident that they were going to be able to fix it and run his car, or run that primary car in the big show, but I think they're going to have to go to a backup, and who knows what happens after that.
Yeah, so did we even talk about the results of the duel?
Well, I was trying to, but I didn't remember
Sorry, we got
any
a
of
little
the
bit off topic.
places. Yeah, I remember I couldn't think of anything.
Well, the duel one results. Bubba Wallace, the 23 with the first place finish. He started 15th in that duel. And
Yeah,
then
there was
William Byron, Ty Dillon, Ross Chastain, and Tyler Reddick round out the top five.
yeah, Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace, teammates up there for the 2311 racing team. They were looking like superb. They were racing together at the top for a while. Michael Jordan showing out real big this year. They have their new shop finished up in North Carolina, and I think that they're finally like a true team, true racing team, established themselves, and they're racing well together. And I would expect the same to go on all week.
Yeah, I'm excited for this season for them. I think they're. I mean, Tyler Reddick was a dog last year. Bubba Wallace had a lackluster season, but that team in general is just getting better. They're investing so much into the team, into training. Especially you saw that last year. They got some racing simulators. They tailored it toward road courses, especially too. So I am excited for that team. I think Tyler Reddick has a really solid chance of winning the championship this year. So let's see what they have to do.
You think Tyler Reddick will have a better year than Bubba Wallace? I mean,
Better. I don't
you'd be
know.
probably like going the favorite direction if that were to be the case. Bubba came swinging this year.
I
Bubba had
think
a really
Bubba will be
good
most improved.
clash, and then back into this, at least the beginning of this race, he does seem to be a little bit of a head case and doesn't finish out seasons. But and obviously Tyler Reddick does. Um, but I don't know. I mean, I think that they both have the talent to be a top 4 driver at the end of the year and be in that race in Phoenix.
No, I have
However,
a big season in mind for Bubba Wallace. I think he's going to come out like you said, swinging, and I think he's going to be the most improved driver. And I think you'll see him late in the playoffs. I don't know if he'll have enough to win it, but I see him breaching that final 8 spot.
yeah. All right, before we get into like, long-term season goals, cuz I'm sure people want to hear what we think, before the season starts, who you should put your futures on, but I think you go second in that first duel. You got William Byron, a big timer out of the uh, uh, wow, Hendrick team. Sorry, Hendrick has always been on fire. They had a phenomenal year, especially maybe the first half of last year. They were just unstoppable. Um, but I think that they're set up again to do the same thing. I mean, I don't think any of their drivers have dropped off at all. I think they're the only thing that they could have possibly done is improve. They've invested again, just like most of these teams are going to have the same thing. They've invested a lot of money into technology, a lot of technology and work in the off season on studying this new car. I would say this next gen car is not even the new car on the block anymore. So you can't chalk it up to not knowing what this thing is gonna do. Um, of course, we're gonna see a little bit differences in tires this year, just on the technology side. But for the most part, this is a car that they've gotten to feel out, and I think that that's where these big teams like Hendrick and Penske had the advantage over the little guys before, just because they had the ability to test this out a little bit better. Now I would say the playing field is getting a lot tighter. Do you see Hendrick being as big of a name and as big of a just dominant figure as they have been in the past few years?
I mean, I think so. I think
You
you got
do?
to give it to them. They have the best drivers in the Cup Series, and they're always a great team. They have the money to invest. I don't see them falling that far. If anything, they're always going to be up there. So, I mean, they're always at the top. So I guess the only way to go is to the bottom. But I really don't see them falling too far. If anything, they're still going to be up there. I don't I don't see any surprises this season.
Understandable. All right, then we go into someone that had probably one of the worst seasons he's had in not his career, but in a long, long time. Finishing 20th overall, which is his lowest finish since wow, I got to scroll a long time since 2005. You had Kyle Busch finish on the back half, I guess about halfway in the Cup Series. He has gone a long, long time without a win. 0 wins last year. So, first season without a win in a long time since actually 2020 or 2004. So, probably coming off of his worst season since, he's become a big figure, a big name in NASCAR. Do you think he's on his way out? Do you think this is the end for him? Or does he get another shot to race for someone else other than JGR?
I don't know.
Because this is his last season that he's signed on for the JGR contract. I don't see him in the number 8 car next year.
No, I definitely don't either. And he kind of alluded to it last year too. He's kind of like, I could entertain some offers from other teams. So I think he knows he's trying to leave. He never had a good run with this team. So I think if he gets out of this car, it might just all be mental for him. I think it'll do wonders. So I think somebody else will sign him, pick him up. But this year, yeah, I don't see anything exciting for him.
Do you think it's worth placing a bet on Kyle Busch to get his first Daytona 500 win?
I do
I
not.
haven't looked at the odds, but that's one of the only races that he has not won. He still has not been able to get it done in his however many seasons. He just hasn't been there.
Yeah, no, I still would stay away from him. You just never know with him. I mean, he's not good here. He hasn't got a win. And yeah, just with this team right now, with this car, I don't think that's a good bet. I will look up all the odds to see where he's at. Let's see.
At the end of the
Kyle
day, I
Busch
just
is
want to make
plus
some money.
1,300, the third favorite in the field
That's a
to win.
high fade. I would not touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm surprised with those odds. Kyle Larson leads the field at plus 1,200, and then you kind of got a grouping of 4 or 5 around those same odds with Ryan Blaney, second favorite, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, and Denny Hamlin. You got Big Bad Brad at plus 1,500, just outside the favorite spot. How do you feel about him?
All right. Uh, well, yeah, you could think about him, but one of the things I want to tell you about him is I saw him on the practice night and into the qualifying, and that guy, I feel bad for him, but he is one of the ugliest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. I really do feel bad for the guy.
That's all you have to say.
No, yeah, I have
He's
nothing
coming at
nothing
his
to say
looks
about
right
his
now.
racing. I thought he was hanging on to a top 20. or sorry, a top 10 to go into the second round of qualifying, and he got kicked out with probably about 4 drivers to go. I think he ended up 12th in the pole standings. Um, he wasn't overly fast, but I mean that's faster than half the field, so that's good. Uh, I mean, I don't. I I have always liked taking a underdog in the Daytona 500. I already mentioned Austin Cindric. I know I should have done that before he won the duel, but I've always been a Cindric on super speedway kind of guy. I would also look at some of these drivers like, oh, I don't know. I mean, just look halfway down the list. Someone that you think might drive relatively slow, keep it on the backside of the field, and stay safe. Get through some of the big ones, and maybe have a push at the last 10 laps to keep going. Um, McDowell was one of those guys that have proved it before. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., another guy that's proved that same method. Stick with it, stay clean, race clean up until the last 40 laps, and then see if you can get it done right there. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., I believe, is a way better driver than Michael McDowell right now. Better car, better driver, but Stenhouse did not have a good year last year.
Yeah, I mean that's the key to any super speedway, especially the 500. That you just got to stay out of the wrecks. You just got to outlast the people. It's maybe not as strategy involved, as in like be up at the top of the track or top of the lineup. But if you stay back, stay out of the crashes, you'll be in the running for those last couple laps to make a run for first place and win that trophy. So you never know. That's why it's like a guessing game. You kind of got to get lucky, but you also got to be fast to beat out the rest of the field. So that's why you could go a little lower in these odds if you're picking the outright. But you also got to pick someone fast and someone that keeps their nose clean.
Yeah, just something I want to point out from last night is Martin Truex Jr. being that high up on the odds is absolutely ridiculous. He was driving so slow last night. Um, he was even fighting just to get a spot, and yeah, it wasn't great. So I would stay away from him. Um, looks like trucks qualifying just started, so just gonna be paying attention to that, trying to be a little bit more inclusive, our D and I guess right there, of all the different series this year. But I won't promise anything. But like you know, we just like to do this to just drink and hang out. Like I don't want to ever be too serious.
Yeah.
Like
On
that's why I
that
want to
note,
talk about paint schemes. I mean, I haven't even looked at any of them, but they were pretty sweet last year. I'm looking at our notes from last year for this race, and we did a lot of preview for the entire season. We did a lot of preview of Daytona, but we looked at some paint schemes, so want to definitely look at that. Why don't you pull some of those up, and we'll just go through them as we're looking. While you're doing that, I want to do some reminders of what you said was going to happen last season before the season even started. So this was exactly the same time. Friday before the Daytona 500, we released an episode. Dick, you said, I don't even know if I want to say it because everyone will stop listening to us right now because they see how uncredible we are. Not incredible, non credible. You had Daniel Suarez winning the championship.
hey, this is what I was going to bring up. He's my favorite DEI hire, so I had to go with it. I was getting an
uh,
extra payout boost if you want.
that's awesome. While you're pulling those paint schemes up, I also will tell you, you thought Bubba was going to be better than he was the year before. He
I did.
was. He went up 4 spots, which isn't a huge factor, but your bigger prediction was Chase Elliott coming off of the year where he had the broken leg and then the suspension, and then he just couldn't get solid after that. He had a horrible season 2023. came back, and he did do much better in 2024. You said that Bell was going to have a way worse year, coming off of the championship fever. Not well, but I think that he was
He was good.
probably
He
yeah
was good.
like that was one of
I
those
mean,
things,
he had a worse year, is what I assumed.
right?
He did not win the championship.
Yeah. What else did you say? You liked you liked Jimmy Johnson in the 500. It's very clear right now that Jimmy Johnson could be racing his last race this week. If not this week, this season. I think he's set up to drive in 2 races, and he can't even keep up with drivers that are not in the series. I think it's time for him to hang it up, just be a team owner, and go the way of Kevin Harvick. I think Kevin Harvick would have had a better chance to jump in here and start driving. I think he could still race at the capacity as some of these other guys. Jimmy Johnson's just not there anymore.
Yeah, I
All right,
agree.
why don't you
I think
walk
he
us
has to hang
through?
it up.
Yeah, walk us through these paint schemes.
Yeah, let's go for it. I mean, obviously the number one here, you got the Travelers Whiskey, Chris Stapleton, number 40. I mean, that's just badass. The Buffalo Trace. Whew.
Well, it's actually funny. So is Traveler's Whiskey made by Buffalo Trace? I guess that must
They
be.
might be partners because I just see a Buffalo Trace sticker there.
Yeah, because it says Traveler's Whiskey, and you'd think that they wouldn't put a Traveler's Whiskey on another whiskey's brand. So they must be partners.
Yeah.
And I just had that Buffalo Trace little airplane bottle right before we started.
Yes, we did. Well, you did.
Number 1, Corey
Yeah, you got the
LaJoy.
number
This will
one,
actually
Corey.
help us also go through who's who this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Team changes and everything because I need a refresher on that. We have a bunch of people coming in, a bunch of people leaving. So yeah, Corey LaJoy, the number one.
I'd give that car. Let's give the cars just a quick. If there's something to point out, we'll point it out, and then a quick on a scale from 1 to 10, 3.
Really, I mean, I think this is a solid average. You got like a 6 here for
Okay.
me. 6 out of 10. It's sharp.
All right,
Bush
Ross
Light.
Chastain, number 1, which is another number 1.
The
Bush
other
Light,
was a 0-1. This one's a
yeah,
regular one.
actual number 1. Ross Chastain in the same thing. He's been in for since Kevin Harvick retired.
I
Y-
gotta
y-
love me some Bush Light, but I mean,
yeah.
this is just your normal car. So
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now we are very opposite from each other because Bush Light car is a classic. It's
yeah,
got the
there's no change
mountains
up.
and the scenery there. I give that one a 7.
Okay, that's interesting. I was gonna give it like a 5
Okay.
just because I like Bush Light. Discount tire. You got your Austin Cindric, normal looking car from last season.
Same
Nothing to
car he
see here.
drives all the time.
Yep.
Uh, the one that Big Bad Brad drove for a long time. I don't like it. I hate that car so much.
Yeah, it's kind of
2.
boring. I was gonna give it a 2 as well. Ooh, this
All right.
Winchester Austin Dillon Bass Pro Shops. This
I
is sick.
always love the Bass Pro Shop cars. This one they went with the full camo rather than the black and red with the scene on the front. I like this one better. Winchester ammo. I'm gonna give that one just. I want to put it right underneath the Bush Light, so I'll give it a 6, 6.5.
I like this a lot. I think it's an 8. I mean,
Okay.
how are they gonna see him coming on the track? It's camo.
Noah Gragson, number 4 car. Looks like ketchup and mustard on a black car.
Yes, looks like it on a burnt hot
What is
dog.
that? Rush Truck Centers.
Yep, but you got Cummins in there, so I can give it a 3.
4. Yep.
All right, you got your normal Kyle Larson, Hendrick, number 5.
Same
I mean,
car he
this
drives
is
every time.
yeah, but honestly, it's sweet. I love blue and white on a car just
Red, white,
because
and
we're
blue. You can't get more American
big
than
Penn
that.
State fans too. Yeah, you get to throw the red in there too. But yeah,
Uh,
solid 6.
that's a 6. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
just
just because
iconic at
of
this
its
point.
classic. All right, Brad Keselowski in the Kroger Cottonelles Ford number 6. Cottonelle toilet paper. He's gonna drive like ass. Keep her moving.
Hey, I kind of like the car though.
No, the car's nice, and I like
It's
when
pretty
they
cool.
make the number metallic like that.
Yeah,
So,
it's nice looking. I can give it a 6.
yeah, 6.
Ooh, the Justin Haley Chili's number 7, and should we say he's driving a new car?
You can.
Well, he's driving a new car.
Chili's
He took
baby
over
back
for
ribs.
Corey LaJoy from last season.
Yeah, that's right.
All
Uh,
right.
4. Yeah, I don't have much to say about Corey LaJoy. He had a bad year. Probably time to move out of that car.
Agree.
I'm
I
glad that
always
Justin
liked the
Haley's
lucky
gonna
number
get
7
his
car, and I
chance.
like Justin Haley a little bit better. So now
Yep,
I have an excuse to bet on him a bit more.
that's
All
right.
right.
So you got Kyle Busch driving the number 8 Zone Chevrolet. I think that isn't that like Zin's, but Zone is different.
Yeah.
Uh, car looks kind of outer spacey, kind of looks generic, kind of looks like he's gonna also be at the bottom of the pack or a wreck. I w- we'll kind of use this as a little bit of a preview for each car too. DNF.
Yeah, DNF. Just toss him
You-
back and toss him back into outer space. Fuck that car.
yep. 4.
Oh, your Napa parts know how. Chase
Napa
Elliott
know
number
how.
9.
Yeah, Napa has done better than this. This is the solid blue with a little bit of the yellow accent, and eh,
Yeah, it's
Napa's done
okay. It's
better.
not.
5.
They definitely have. I think 4 or 5. But Chase Elliott, I think this will be a comeback season. He kind of proved some glimmers of hope toward the end of last season. He had a win or two. So I think he'll come out better this year, and I think it'll be more consistent. So look for him to make a good playoff round.
Yeah, he won the Clash already at Bowman Gray Stadium. Just showing that he's ready to drive well this season.
All right, the number 10 Grizzly nicotine pouches.
I didn't know Grizzly had something different than like actual like tobacco. Uh, I mean, I don't do it, but it's kind of cool. The black with the red and like the Grizzly looks kind of grizzly. I
Yeah,
like it.
it's a cool looking car.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna look that great like driving real fast because I don't think he will. But but I do like how Tyler Dillon gets his chance to come back to the full time Cup Series or I say championship full time Cup Series. He very deservingly was axed out of it before, so he's got something to prove, and based on last night in the duels, I think he he's starting to show some progress. So hopefully he carries that this year, and we see that car in the top 10 a few times this year.
Yeah, he finished third at the duel. So yeah, look for him. I mean, he's super speedways. He could be up there. He has shown speed at points. So if he stays out of crashes and
I
then
get worried
somehow
about him
stays up
though.
at the
He's
top, I mean, he has a car to win.
I get worried though because I don't think he's gonna be that guy that wants to sit in the back and wait his turn and then go for it. I think he's gonna want to try to drive laps on the front end, and he gets caught up in something. I sure hope not, but maybe.
Yeah, I agree. But we got here the number 11 Denny Hamlin car, and this is pretty cool. Little change up.
Yeah, National Debt Relief. Don't really like the sponsor. I mean, sorry, National Debt Relief, if you want to sponsor us,
We're
probably
we're
won't
both
anymore. But
very much in debt, so we can take it.
no, but I think the logo of their actual logo kind of sucks, but I do like what they did with the car, red, white,
Yeah,
and blue, stars and stripes. Gotta love it. Got to go with a 6.5 then.
yeah. I like the little signature top of the door there too. It's pretty cool.
I think they all have that.
Yeah, not this one. Number 12, Ryan Blaney. You got your normal Menards car.
Yep, traditional. Keep moving. Ryan Blaney to have a good year.
AJ the Dinger, number 16 Celsius car, same as last year, but I still really like this car, and I like Dinger a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean Celsius usually has pretty good looking cars. AJ Allmendinger has potential. I think he could win a race, but he'll be in the top 5 a few times this year.
I mean, never count him out of road courses. I think he gets a road course win this year.
Chris Buescher, number 17 Fastenal car. Eh,
Busher is one of the best at making the most out of bad cars. He could have had plenty of wins last year, and Ford was awful. So look for him and Ford getting it back on track this year. And if Ford has a good car, I think he gets multiple wins, and you'll see him later on in the postseason.
I like it. 2 years ago, he had a really good end of the year, and was pretty dominant. And I think he could bring it back and do it again. So the other Bass Pro Shop car, which we're gonna have to get used to this one. The 19 was always Martin Truex Jr. Now it's Chase Briscoe driving the 19. Bass Pro Shop Tracker Boats. Car
This,
is pretty much what Truex used to drive, but I like it. I mean, like
yeah,
I said, Bass Pro Shops usually has pretty cool cars.
you got the Black Rifle Coffee sticker on
That's
there too,
true.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
But
they will
yeah, he
do
has
one of
some
those a few times.
big shoes to fill. So I would like to see how Briscoe does. I think he is a really good driver, and I think given the car and the team, I think he could do wonders. So look for him for a breakout season as well.
I like it.
Chris Bell, Interstate Batteries. It's kind of cool car, a little different.
Yeah, yeah. Yellow front going into the lightning of the interstate batteries. I like it. Chris Bell staying in the staying pretty much the same as he was the past year. I think I could see him having a very similar finish. Like to see him win one or two, which he can do, and then I think he loses in one of the first rounds of the playoffs. But he's
Yeah,
going
but
to be a playoff driver.
Chris Bell has a lot of speed, and I think this track might suit him. So if you're looking for a Toyota on this track, you got Bubba Wallace, Ty Reddick, and Chris Bell.
We'll go into that after, but man, I really think you gotta like the Fords here. Speaking of Fords, you got Josh Berry driving the number 21 Motorcraft. This is one of the worst cars you could possibly drive, I believe, looking wise. They have a horrible number. It looks like you typed it on like Times New Roman and you just have a white car and you ran out of red paint. So,
Yeah, this looks like one of those wooden cars you make in like middle school,
yeah.
and you just did the design yourself.
You ride it in like the Pinewood Derby or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. This is a shitty car. We haven't been rating them, but this is like a two.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Now this one I want to rate way up there. Joey Logano always drives that Pennzoil 22. Another Ford. I want to say probably one of the fastest Fords you're going to see on the track. The problem with Joey Logano is, again, he's going to stick to the front probably towards the beginning, and that's where he could get caught in a wreck. But this car is sick. It's like the sunset from the red fade into the yellow to the white. Um, Joey Logano is one of my favorites to win the race here.
Yeah, you think this is designed off of Phoenix, defending Cup Series champion?
I'll give that a 7.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I'd say about a 7. He's only won on even number years, 2018, 22, and 24. So I believe this will not be his year.
Well, that sucks. That sucks to know going into the year that you can't win.
Yeah. All right, but
Bubba Wallace has the McDonald's car, 2311. Well, he's 23 on the 2311 team. I like the touch that McDonald's put here. The fries actually are dipped in ketchup. So because they're dipped in ketchup, I give that a 6.5. Bubba Wallace,
honestly, I was thinking that too. The fries
I
make
think
this
Bubba
car.
Wallace's season is going even above where he was last year. He was a playoff driver last year. I think he's a playoff driver this year. I think he gets into the top 8.
Yeah, I think he definitely has a breakout or comeback season. Yeah, I think he'll be up there. Oh, look at this William Byron and Jeff Gordon looking car.
Got the Flames on the 24, the Hendrick car, Exalta. I mean, you can't get much more classic and much more, just straight up NASCAR than the 24. Neon yellow numbers, blue car, red flames. I mean, awesome. William
Iconic.
Byron, I think all the
I've
Hendrick
had
guys
this
will look good
little
this year.
Hot Wheels car. Is my
Yeah,
favorite.
that's definitely gotta be the car that all the, like, the toddlers, they like, if you put 5 cars on the table, they're all gonna pick that one.
Yeah. Todd
They're
Gilliland.
none of them are gonna pick this Todd Gilliland
No,
34
this is
loves.
ugly. I don't even want to talk about it.
This is the Michael McDowell car. He's out. Todd Gilliland in. Yeah.
Yep. Next one, Riley Herbst, the number 35 Monster Energy, zero sugar. I didn't even know Monster Energy had zero sugar.
They almost all are zero sugar nowadays. That shows you how much energy drinks you drink. You
I
do
do know.
drink the Monster
I am
Beast.
drinking right now the Monster Beast, so I'm waiting for Tyler Reddick's car if he'll be on that one.
I do not believe he's riding a Beast this week, but we'll see. Zane Smith, 38, the Speed Cash Ford. Do you think he's going to be speedy? I don't think so.
Fudge no. Moving on, the
No,
Travelers Whiskey.
actually, Zane Smith. Wait, keep going back up. I actually don't know if he's going to be racing. I think he actually is not. He wrecked last night out of the duel. He will not make it. He will be racing tonight in the truck series, but he had a right rear go down, turned into the wall, and toe link broke. Couldn't finish the race. He had to qualify to get in, and so Zane Smith out. But cool car.
Good update. We were talking about the Justin Allgaier Travelers Whiskey. 9 out of 10. Cole
I mean,
Custer.
you can't say.
I am
Cole
excited
Custer,
for him this
this
year.
is our
finally
guy.
Joining full time into the Cup Series for Haas factory team. So he'll be driving the number 41. Car's average, nothing special about it. But yeah, this is our guy. We took pictures with him. We talked, chatted him up 2 years ago. So we were always big fans of him. Really nice guy. So we're looking
And
forward
we
to the
expect
season.
him to eventually come onto this podcast. So we are going to lock in with Cole Custer. Yeah, I mean, he's got a long way to go, I think, for just, making a statement in the Cup Series. And I think he has the potential to do it. He's young enough, and he's been around long enough, but he's young, and so he can get there. And so we're gonna back this guy 100%.
Yeah, and I mean, he made a statement last year in the Xfinity Series, and he was basically up there every single race. So hopefully that translates to the Cup Series.
And he's one of the nicest guys you can get on the series.
Oh yeah, a little quiet,
Also,
but
sorry,
good guy.
looking at the truck series stuff right now, Norm Benning, age 73, will get the start out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. If you're watching on the screen, look behind me, Sidney Crosby. I'm a Pittsburgh guy. 73-year-old guy. He his best truck series finish, 13th at Talladega, and he's gonna start tonight. I'm excited to see that one. 73 years old.
Yeah.
I feel like that. Well, he's got some work done. You can tell them those chompers are not his originals. Oh, it looks like he's a Who. Sorry, guy. You want to come onto the podcast?
Oh yeah, well we're accepting.
Ooh,
We'll
okay.
want
Justin Hunter Nemechek, the $42 Tree Toyota. I like the little Oreo
yeah,
on the
this
bottom.
is probably the
It's
cheapest
green.
car you'll see. So,
Yeah, it's green. It looks like money.
and you got the Dixie Cups there.
I did
Shout
see
out
that.
Easton, Pennsylvania, Dixie Cup factory.
Yep, it died.
Yep,
It's gone.
looks
It's
awful.
still there. No one will touch it.
No, it's
Advent
disgusting.
Health, Eric Jones, number 43. The Toyota with some colors, and I just feel like on the track it's going to be hard to read the number 43. Like, it's a light blue
Yeah, it
with
is.
darker blue next to it and then greens. Like, I think it's going to be hard.
Yeah, I think this is a poorly designed car. It could have been cool, but the colors just don't fit it. I think this could have been like a 7, but it's really like a 4. But shout out to Advent Health and all the nurses there.
Oh, that was really nice of you. Frankie Muniz on the track qualifying right now. Best finish, 29th in the truck series. That's rough. But last year he actually finished 4th in the points in the ARCA series. I think this is his year to make a breakout in the trucks. Sorry that we're bouncing back and forth, but we're currently qualifying right now. So he
Oh,
looks
there's Zane
slow.
Smith right there. 38 Long John Silver's. He looked down and out. Or he's getting ready to go. I don't know. I don't have the sound on. But yeah, Frankie Muniz, I feel like everybody's
No,
a
Zane
fan.
Smith
Or
is
everyone...
about to start. Sorry, yeah, he's getting up to speed. I think They're showing him a lot more now because he is gonna be likely the favorite to win this race. So they're gonna focus on him. We will actually let's watch this. Let's watch him qualify here. 'Cause I think that he has potential to make a splash in all the series this year. I think he's going to be racing full time truck series. He has 5 truck series wins. I believe he has some wins in the Xfinity series as well, and he's got plenty of starts now in the Cup series. So I'd expect to see him there this year, and he's going to make a few top 20s.
Yeah, and this is a guy their team is very excited about. He is young, but just the more reps he gets, it'll just do him wonders. So I think he'll eventually be a force in the Cup Series. But yeah, like you were saying, I think just more reps in the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, can do it justice.
As he's driving, I want to just state that we would really like to be talking while sharing our screen while watching this, and you guys can watch as we sort of talk this through. As it's happening, we're working on some of the licensing issues with FS1, and if we are allowed to broadcast that, but we will hopefully be able to walk through races and practice and qualifying with you as we go. But Zane Smith, he's right on pace to be on that 10th bubble. The change this year was qualifying. You have qualifying round 1, where the top 10 race again. Not race again, but they get to qualify again. Looks like he just went above the top 10. So looks like he's gonna get in,
Yeah,
rounding
he's
the 4th.
currently on pole, sitting at
Yep, he's
51.261.
dropping down. He had a really good
I think
enter
I'm a
turn 3 out
little,
of turn 4.
yeah, I might be just slightly in front of you, but
Yeah, you are, but he does take the pole. He's almost a whole tenth of a second faster than number 2, Kaz Grala. I said Kaz Grala. That's not Kaz. That's Garcia, not Kaz Grala. But yeah, he'll take the top. With I believe 15 more to go.
all right.
They just showed him getting crashed out last night. He got smoked.
Schmoke. So let's
He was in
move on.
the Advent Health medical tent for a long time last night, but he's obviously racing well today, so he's probably fine. All right, let's go back to the number 45 Tyler Reddick car. He is riding that nasty beast. Now, you're not drinking the nasty beast, you're just doing the normal
No, I
beast.
didn't even realize there was Nasty Beast, and I guess that's a hard T. So hopefully we get a bunch of free ones of those this upcoming Daytona.
Hey, Monster, we'll talk you up. Bring that
Yeah,
free shit in.
well, bringing
We
in,
don't even need money. We'll
we'll
take
buy
just
it
free
ourselves.
sample. No, we'll take free sample. No, we're not buying it ourselves. We'll take free samples and we'll talk it up all the time. Sunny D, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 47 car. I like it.
I was
It's
thinking
happened
this is the
before, but
hard Sunny D, but it's not even the hard Sunny D. It's just the normal Sunny D.
what do you only think about alcohol, don't you?
I mean, why are they putting a children's drink on a NASCAR?
Children are allowed to go to the race.
Whoa!
Oh,
Speaking
you
of
got a new
children,
wiener.
yeah, my little wiener, Paisley, in the off season, she needs to chill out.
What is she doing?
She's a little skittish sucker, little dickhead.
Number 48, Alex Bowman, the purple ally car. He sure is an ally, because
Is he a DEI hire as well?
he must
Can you
be,
get
because
away with
he's an
this?
ally. Did you know you can get hired, or you can say that you're LGBTQIA or whatever, because the last thing is ally? The
Oh, they
IA.
added another one.
Yeah, so now you can be like just a straight male and be LGBTQIA or whatever the hell it is.
I mean,
That's
not
pretty good.
anymore after Trump passed this new federal law, but in the past you used to be able to.
All right, the next car. Oh, he'll be good. Next, Cody Ware. Cody Ware 51, the Parts Plus Jacob Construction Ford.
This is like
Car's busy.
blank car. This is
Yep.
like your
It looks like he
construction
doesn't have
truck.
much,
Yeah, not much going on.
not
Give it
much
a
going,
2.
and I don't think he's gonna do
Yeah,
much.
he's not going to do much either. You got your Ty Gibbs 54 Monster Energy. This is your black Monster Energy car. Nothing special. But Ty Gibbs. How about
Ty
him?
Gibbs had a phenomenal year last year.
Hell yeah. Everybody's
I
itching to get
expect
him,
him to.
get a win early on. He looks so good early on, and he just
Yep.
couldn't close the door. So look at him closing more doors this upcoming season.
Yeah, I expect him also to get that win early on,
He just needed a little
and
bit more experience running up there late in the race, and I think he's there now. So yeah.
all right.
Cool. 56, another Bass Pro Shops. Look very similar to the old Truex.
That's
And
because it is Truex.
yeah. So Truex is back.
Yeah, I am not sure if he's qualified in. So a lot of these guys, they may have already qualified in or not qualified in. We just haven't looked at everything yet. Just giving you the preview. 56 is going to be very difficult for me to remember that Truex is in that car.
Yeah, it's definitely
He's
going to
only
be
going to
huge.
race a few races this year.
Number 60, buildsubmarines.com. Ryan Priest.
Ron Priest. Got
We
nothing to
saw,
say about him.
yeah, hopefully
Car's
he stays
solid.
out of the big one again this year. Almost killed himself a couple of years ago.
I know, that was actually awesome to watch, though.
So at this point, I feel like everybody's rooting for him at Daytona. So I guess
What
I'll root for
he
him.
flipped like 13 times or something.
Something like that. It was crazy.
It was cool to watch. 66 Chandler Smith, we just talked about him. Out.
Quick tie. That's a cool car, though.
It is.
You got your like teal blue, red and white, kind of a Miami looking car. I'll give it
Oh,
a
it's a good
solid
Florida
6.
car then.
Yeah. Go bowling 71, Michael McDowell. We already talked shit on him.
Yep. Michael McDowell will also be riding or driving a truck tonight. So look at him and Chandler Smith probably would be at the top of this one. Frankie Muniz maybe as a backup. I don't know. I'm just talking about his name though. So I would say Mike McDowell or Chandler Smith if you're trying to make a little bit of extra money before we go into the Cup Series weekend.
This is a neat car though. You got your bowling pins going all over the place, like he will later in the race.
That was good. Carson Hocevar, the number 77, Ziegler.com. Ziegler? I don't even know what that means, but black and gold, gotta love it. Pittsburgh. Hocevar, don't have much to say about him.
Yeah, he's more. Yeah, he's the middle of the pack kind of guy.
I think the problem with him is he just doesn't have the team
Yeah,
aspect to it yet. Like he's not going to be prioritized by his team because he doesn't have the experience, and so we'll just see. I think he's got to prove himself this year to be a solid driver for his team to really back him
yeah. I remember
and give
last
him
year when we
the
had to
fast
pick
car.
our back half of the lineup drivers for our lineup, and he was a good one because he was always like middle of the pack 20, and if your car didn't crash out, you got a lot of points for your back half driver. So
That's right. He was
he
a
was never
he
up
was a
there
solid
trying to
one.
win a race, but he's average.
Jimmy Johnson, we already kind of talked about him. I don't want to talk too much shit on him because he is a NASCAR legend, but I really don't think he's going to be there.
Sleek looking car though. You got your like metallic gray, black.
Yeah, it kind of looks like in the early 2000s and like the 90s when you'd have the guys on Wall Street wear those suits that were like dark gray and had the stripes on
Yeah,
them.
little
It looks like
pinstripes.
that, and then they just ironed on some logos on top.
Yeah, the blue is kind of odd, but that's
But
cool
I
car.
kind of like it though.
Yeah, 7. Yeah, your Shane Van Gisbergen, our favorite
Shine.
driver of the last couple years or last
I
year.
think that I'm glad that to see him back racing some Cup Series races this year. I think he's going to be a lot like Casher Neves, where you'll see him come in, and there are going to be some times where it looks like he has no business getting in a stock car, and then other times you're gonna say, "Holy crap, he could win the championship." Unfortunately, I don't think they either of those guys have the actual experience and actual like power to do that, but they both can be guys you can see win a race this year. That you could see them win a race and then not actually make any impact in the playoffs.
Yep. They just don't have the Napa know-how. All right. Ooh, this one's cool. The Castro Neves that we talked about earlier, the 91 fresh, never frozen Wendy's car. This is
You
cool.
know, it was a real shame to watch that thing get crashed up last night. Um, hopefully they have another print of that because if their backup card just says Wendy's in Sharpie, I wouldn't be surprised. They do not have a lot of money to come into this race, but I'm glad that they're gonna be here. And maybe they fixed it. So look for this guy to make an impact, and you sure as hell will see a lot of interviews with this guy.
Yeah, I think it's
And
about
he's
a
a very
50-50.
likable guy.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite DEI hires as well. But
We are going
I'm
hard on
hung
the
up on
D and
this
I
DEI.
this
Hey, it's
episode.
in the news. It's all current in my head. But yeah, I think there's about a 50-50 chance he crashes out this week. But
I'm
it'll
gonna
be a cool
sorry.
story.
I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna give that paint scheme a 9.
I was
I'm
gonna
not
go with a
even a
9.
Wendy's fan, but that car is sick.
I love Wendy's. It's great. Frosties and their chicken sandwiches.
Frosties, they're good. They should sponsor us.
They have the Thin Mint Frosties coming out this month,
That's good.
and the Girl Scout cookie ones. Oh, so good.
We're getting to the end here at Daniel
The sombrero.
Flores 99 freeway.com insurance Chevrolet.
This is
Metallic
boring.
green logo with a little bit of a wave of green on blue. Eh, looks kind of nice.
Yeah,
I
I
like
feel
the
like his
metallic.
car should just all be in Spanish. Just sombreros everywhere.
Honestly, yeah, I'm actually surprised that they haven't announced a Mexico race this year yet.
Yeah, it's on the horizon though.
Yep.
We've been
So
talking
we
about it.
will stop there. If someone else wants to go look at the Xfinity cars, that's great. You can go on to the NASCAR website and see that. Um, the last few things I want to talk about is a change this year that you're going to see. Of course, we have some changes in. I don't want to talk about too many changes. You're going to see that in the broadcast on Sunday. They'll go over it quite well. Kevin Harvick sitting in the booth will, I'm sure they have a way bigger budget to explain the stuff than we do. But I do want to say that what I'm looking forward to the most this season is the in-season tournament. There's going to be an extra cash prize when you have head-to-head matchups. I think it's about halfway through the season. Maybe do they start what
Yeah, I
10,
think it's
10
sponsored
races in,
by
20 races
Amazon
in?
Prime and TNT this year.
Yep.
It's gonna be cool.
Yep. So we'll cover that a lot more in later episodes as we get closer to that and we see what these matchups are going to look like. We're just excited for racing down in Florida this week. The first race of the 2025 Cup Series. Man, is it good to watch these things. Corey Heim on the track. Even though these trucks look like they're so slow compared to the Cup Series cars, I just love watching it. And I love drinking beer to it. Like every year, I just can't get enough of it. Like I want to just say, in the time you watch NASCAR, you could probably learn a second language. You could get another degree. You could, actually make something of your life. But my God, why do you want to? This is so much fun. It's so cool to sit here with a beer in your hand and watch cars go real fast.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't want to make anything out of my life because you can't beat this.
You can't. Now, this is a common theme of last year when we talked so much shit on Fox and the broadcast and how they just really were horrible. I've been watching since the beginning of Speed Week, so I've watched Wednesday, Thursday, Friday now, and I do love their upgrade on qualifying with the Ghost Riders. and showing exactly where you are. It's all AI, and you can see how close you are to the whatever driver. So if you want to have the 10th driver or the first driver to see where you are in pool, it is really nice. And I think that's a first nice upgrade that Fox has done in a long time.
Yeah, and I think we did shit on them last year, but I think what they did well last year was show the actual dynamics of the car and how it worked, the insides and out of it.
I do like the Fox. I think they call it the whatever cutaway or something.
Yeah, I mean
Oh,
we're both engineers, so we enjoy that much.
okay. I don't want to cut you off, but the 2025 rookie class of the Craftsman Cup Series, they have Tony Bredinger. I never knew anything about her. I knew she was racing the ARCA series, but I saw her on the Cup at what's that chicken place that they have like nowadays?
Popeyes.
No, the new place. Not new, but Cane's. She's all over Kane's chicken, and she's making her rookie debut in the truck series. I think she's gonna be better than some of them other girls that come by. Sh From what I can tell, she doesn't take no shit. She doesn't care that she's a girl. She just is a driver, and she's gonna be treated that way, just as another driver. And I would expect her to have a really good rookie season.
Yeah, she doesn't seem like too much of a girly girl. She kind of looks like a badass. Stalking
She
her
does.
Instagram right now.
Of course you went. You probably went right there just trying to find a bikini pic. I guarantee
Yeah,
that's
and
what you were looking for. And
didn't
guess
take
what?
that
I
much
didn't find one.
scrolling.
It might be way back there. You know what? Here's a tip. Look at where what she was tagged in.
It was a Sports
'Cause her.
Illustrated swimsuit.
All
She
right.
was in that.
Why don't you pull that up on the screen here?
Well, I don't know if I should. It's Valentine's Day. I have a girlfriend.
Yeah, she's not gonna listen to this, but her whole family does.
Our biggest
Oh
supporters.
boy. No. What are your last thoughts about this season? Like, we're here. We're finally here.
I'm excited. I'm so excited to get to some tracks this year. Maybe do a live event. We say that every year, and we attempt and do it
No one shows
awfully.
up.
Hey, we got hats
No.
this year.
Oh yeah. So we actually do have new hats this year. If anyone is interested, we'll post pictures on our social. We'll put actually you want me to grab one right now, show it on this
Yeah,
broadcast?
let's do it.
All right.
You'll do a
You
giveaway too.
we could do a
Let's
giveaway.
do a giveaway.
We could give
Let's give it 3 weeks. Everybody who wants a hat, email the drunkpod@gmail.com. Go and follow our Instagram account. It's Drink and Drive on Instagram, and I think we have a TikTok probably about the same name, and Twitter, I guess X. I'm never gonna call it X. Twitter is
What's
what
that?
it's called.
So I'm back. Here's the hat. It's the drinking and driving. You'll see it on our socials. It's got I think they call it the crypto camo, snapback trucker hat. They're sweet. We have a few of them. You know what? We'll do a giveaway of both the gray and the black. We have two of them, two different kinds. We'll do a gray and a black. And what did you say the requirements were?
Yep, just email us and/or follow us on
Nope,
Instagram
nope, nope.
specifically.
You have to do both.
Okay, you have to do both.
Nope.
Text
All
says
right, all right. Here's the deal.
he's
All right,
overruling me. He's
whatever
the
you
owner
just
of this
said.
podcast. I'm just here for the ride.
And no, you must follow us on either Spotify or Twitter. Okay. And comment on either this podcast or our next post for the giveaway. Okay, everyone that both follows and comments is entered into the giveaway, and we will send it anywhere into the continental United States. 2 hats.
Very small.
And anyone else that's interested, just DM us and we will sell them $20 a piece. It's a good deal. It's a great hat. I wear it all the time
And the
when I'm
cool
not
thing
wearing the
about this
cowboy hat.
hat is if you wear it while drinking and driving, the police automatically know that it's fine. You're good.
That's not true. Well,
We're not
let's not
legally allowed
prove
to
it.
say that.
Yeah, let's not try to prove that because we don't know how it's
Yeah,
gonna
we
go.
are not condoning or recommending you do this.
anytime you wear this hat, people will comment and they love them. Everyone wants to know where you got it and what it is about. And and that's when you can say, "Hey, listen to this podcast." But they're awesome hats. Get them. Are you guys ready for a NASCAR season? We are going to start if as soon as this is done posting, we're going to be at the beginning of the practice for the Xfinity series. Sorry, qualifying for the Xfinity series? No practice. I don't even know our schedule. Yeah, practice for Xfinity series at 4:30 p.m. on Friday. Practice number 2 for the Cup series tonight at 5:35 on FS1. Craftsman Cup. Oh, I say Cup all the time. The Craftsman Truck Series race is going to be tonight, Friday night, 7:30 p.m. on FS1. That's going to be a fun one. They're qualifying now. They look fast. They look like they're ready to go, and they have a lot to prove. Saturday morning, get on there for Xfinity qualifying. Practice number 3 for the Cup Series at 3:05 and the Xfinity Series on the CW at 5 p.m. That's also going to be a fun race. You'll see some of these guys that are going to be in the show on Sunday morning. Not Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. They're going to be there, and hopefully you'll see them prove themselves, and maybe even maybe an underdog story. Put a little bit of money on them on Sunday. They'll have the experience. And Sunday afternoon, February 16th, the big one. Daytona 500, 200 laps around this massive, iconic track at 1:30. Get on Fox, get on SiriusXM, get on Max, MRN, wherever you watch or listen to NASCAR races. And don't forget, be here next week. We'll give you a rundown of that race and a preview next week. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, like this, and share. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Buckle up, we're heading to the track. Dick and Tex, they got your back. Rev the engines, feel the thrill. Drinking, driving down the hill. Race day flames and rubber burned. Every corner's a lesson learned. Push the pedal, leave the world. Flags waving, fans unfurled. Fast cars and stories wild. Dick and Tex make you smile. Grab a drink, join the ride. NASCAR tales side by side. Fuel goes fast, but laughs stay long. Every race a different song. Tales of tires and tales of speed. Tune in quick, it's all you need. Speeding demons late at night. Friends and foes in every fight. Crack a smile, hear the roar. Race cars forevermore. Fast cars and stories wild. Dick and Tex make you smile. Grab a drink, join the ride. NASCAR tales side by side. Speeding demons late at night. Friends and foes in every fight. Crack a smile, hear the roar. Race cars forevermore. Fast cars and stories wild. Dick and Tex make you smile. Grab a drink, join the ride. NASCAR tales side by side.
Verley mirrors, NASCAR tails side by side.
Fuel goes fast, but laughs stay long. Every race a different song. Tales of tires and tales of speed. Tune in quick, it's all you need. Speed and demons late at night. Friends and foes in every fight. Crack a smile, hear the roar. Race cars forevermore. Speeding demons late at night. Friends and foes in every fight. A crack a smile, hear